This is the Andrew Tate first interview since coming out of the penitentiary. Let's get into it.
You're facing some very serious allegations:
Correct?
rape, human trafficking,
Yep.
and also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
It's the concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively
that wall
influential
spot.
over the youth, and I understand that. But it's my influence as a whole which people
Nigga
are
look
afraid
like
of, not
soul.
necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
God damn. She done played. Let's get into it.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No.
You see how she for emotional manipulation? It's like, bro. When a man finesse, girls do it all the time. Like, girls would finesse you out of all type of shit. And when it comes out, oh, you should have known better. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just laugh because you a man and you a fool. You shouldn't fall for that. How you let her finesse you? But if you finessing them, it's not even really. It's like, one, you're not doing nothing illegal. You could. I'll present you with an option. Look, I got this webcam business. We can make such and such money. You do this. We split this amount of money. This what you get. This what I get. We agree. What is the problem? You know why they mad? You know why they mad? Because it's one, because it's just the way he talking. He's like, he putting himself out there. He talking real brash about this and that and all this. Is like, oh my God, he's pretty much putting himself in the line of fire. But what he was doing, let's be realistic though, it was not illegal. If I'm walking around, I find a bunch of girls like, yo, I got a business, boom, I got this webcam business, yeah, it's just like porno. So how is porno not illegal? Do you think they're not taking a cut when them girls is fucking and sucking all over camera, all over Pornhub and all their websites? You think they gotta give up? They paying them up whatever their salary is, and somebody else getting a cut. That's just how it goes. Everything getting a cut. You know why they mad? Because I guess he ain't paying taxes or whatever. But that's perfectly legal. Everybody does. There's plenty of other dudes that do it, but just the way he was outwardly talking about it, and you know the times we in, you just can't talk about shit, even though it's happening every day, and a lot of people do it. If a girl go up on OnlyFans and sell her pussy, it's fine. If I convince her to give me half her money while she doing it, something wrong with me. What the fuck? Think about that. Think about the logic of that. She's selling her pussy anyway. It's not like he convincing them like they was just going to college and just good wholesome girls, and like, no, they was out here getting right just like all these other hoes. And you like, all right, you're gonna sell your pussy anyway. You might, if I could convince you to give me half of it. Wow, that's illegal? Like, come on, bro. Come on, stop. Don't do that. It's perfectly legal what he's doing. They just mad. They
I'm
mad.
facing charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one, has already been thrown out by a judge. Because no
And
evidence.
I'm pretty sure he's not the only dude doing that.
Secondly, it's
But
very
they just
difficult
not
to
out
see
talking about it. They
every
doing it and
frank
keeping it
conversation
low.
while we're in the territory of Romania about illegal cases going on within Romania. I have to protect myself. I've agreed to do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible. But I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct. There
A
are no
judge
charges.
has said that
There are
more
no
evidence
charges,
must
and I've agreed to speak to you. But I have to be as honest and frank as I can, while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Huskers University,
Like, come on.
that you emotionally manipulated women to
Oh
fall
my
in love
God.
with you. So that
This
you
is
could
like
get-
emotional. Even that's not illegal. Emotionally, he's not. It's not. He's not. Once you're not threatening nobody. If I'm convincing you, like, yo, you could be my girlfriend, woo, just do this for me. Oh, come on, baby, please, and you do it. I should go to jail? Like, yo, what is going on in the world? Like, that is not illegal. Emotional manipulation, like, everybody does it. Everybody does it. It happens in every relationship. Stop talking like, oh my God, he's such a bad guy. Like, girls manipulate men, men manipulate girls, and vice versa. That's just what they do. Everybody does it. Like, come on, stop doing that.
Working in the sex industry.
Like, basically what she's saying is, oh, you convince women to work for you and we don't like that. You keep seeing emotional manipulation. Like, what do you mean by that? I don't understand. What do you mean by emotional manipulation? Even if you lying to them, lying is not illegal. Me, like, what the, so lying is illegal now? What the fuck is going on in the world? If I, oh, do come on, everybody do it. You throw that game in their ear and convince them to do something for you, but that's not illegal. You're not convincing them to sell crack. You convince them to do something that's perfectly legal. That's like OnlyFans. Everybody does it. OnlyFans is fine though. I want to take half the bread. I'm some type of devil. All right.
For your financial gain.
As I said,
Bruh,
I have to be very
we
careful
both
when I say
gaining.
let's put it this way.
As if like I'm
No
some
one
type
will
of
come
pimp and
out
I'm taking all the money.
accusing
That's the only way. It's like if you taking all the money, that's a different story here. We breaking it down or what the percentage was, but we breaking it down. We got a business here. Come on, just like any other job. They lie to you, you make you come on. What the fuck? Job, regular job is slavery anyway. You got to keep coming back to this motherfucker. You miss 2 checks, you homeless. Just like everybody else. Most people are 2 checks away from being homeless. Like, come on, that's slavery. What the fuck? You giving me just enough money to keep coming back to this piece of shit.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
There's testimony from the current investigation.
The current investigation, which I cannot discuss, which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now.
Why?
Women
Oh,
who
no.
are in this
Why
case
would he
file.
do this?
There are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting. It's actually extremely interesting because if I was a matrix-controlled organization and my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name, you're telling me that they've chosen a crime which, 1, is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people, everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, or we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish this?
One of the witnesses said...
Can I finish this?
You're not
You see what they be doing? The devil. You're not even letting. This is the same shit that other dude was doing when he interviewed with him. I forgot his name. Pearson. Is the same. He just cutting him off. And what do you feel? Whatever. Everybody he interviews with, he does that. I don't know how people interview with him. It's like, bro, let me. That's why I like the Kanye interview, bro. I like. That's why I like the Kanye interview because Kanye was wilding. Like he don't let you talk, bro. Shut the fuck up. Like I can't. Yeah, I don't got patience for that type of shit. You gotta have a different type of patience to deal with people like that. It's like, I mean, you asked me a question. Could I respond to what you just asked me? You're not even letting me respond. Let me rebuttal, motherfucker. Soon as you start having a point, or you even look like you're having a point, or you getting anywhere close to a point, or you even in the vicinity of a point, this motherfucker's like, oh, hell no. We gotta shut that down. No, what about this, though? I know you about to forget that. What about this? It's like, bro, let me answer the fucking question. And she doing that. Let him.
I am answering the question. You're saying you're saying the people.
Oh my God! And then when you interview with people, they gotta like, what you call it? Screen these motherfuckers. Because this whore, I don't know if she's a whore, but I'm just going to call her that for the purposes of this video. She got an attitude problem. And the way she talking, you could tell she has some type of... She don't like him. Put it like that. You can clearly tell she does not like him. She has some type of agenda. She feels some type of way about this whole situation. So you see how aggressively she's coming off? It's like, I hate that.
People who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
Treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says,
we can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be
The gang in the back like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you talking about? We about to read testimonies. Like, shorty, settle down.
clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution, by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and talk about something else.
Let me read you then what you
wrong.
have said about
Sure.
what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam.
What's wrong with that? Is that illegal? Meet a girl, get her to fall in love with me, and get her to do what I say. Let's talk about it though. Is it illegal? Or am I missing something? What world is that illegal? That's like a girl meeting a guy, finessing him, getting money out of him, don't really like him like that, and then stop. Like, what is the same? Like, what are we talking about? What are you saying? That's not illegal. That's a motherfucker that know how to get the bitches. It's not
So
illegal.
we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
Even if he did,
no,
that's illegal?
That's no.
If it's illegal, I don't know
something
what
you
the
found
fuck is going on.
that. Doesn't mean I've said it.
In
And,
your
and, and again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth, and you called 2,000 women who knew him,
Come
you'd
on.
find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's
Somebody's
upset. They
gonna
called
want some
2,000
money.
people who knew
Even
me.
if you
Not
didn't do
a
nothing
single
under them,
woman
somebody
who
wants some money.
The
Like,
only
what? I can get some money out of here.
complaints they
At
have
least
against
one of them ain't gonna be
are
shit.
the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact that people who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to, if you were to take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you try to contact every
You
ex-girlfriend
think
that's ever had.
would come forward and accuse those people
Yes.
of rape and accuse those
I
people
think
of
you would have a lot more.
manipulation?
I think you would have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person that
The
I've never had
BBC
anyone
has
come at
spoken
me.
to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior
Is this
motive
Sophie?
to everything
Is this
you've
Sophie?
done.
Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face,
I was so
the
intent
story that
on
was
wanting
invented.
to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what has she
That's
accused?
what I
Has she
did.
accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
Has
a
she accused me of a crime?
emotional or psychological manipulation.
Like, come on. You talking about if that Sophie, I don't know who that is, if that person is real, like he said, did she accuse him of a crime? Did she come out and say he did such and such to her and he took this from her against her will and forced her to do anything and threatened her and made her feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. Stop.
manipulation.
I've asked you a question and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here because I've allowed you into my house
I'm asking you the question.
correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now.
Talk about it. Like, stop playing. You came to me. You came to me. So clearly you know what it is. I'm the man. You want my interview. You talking to me. You're not gonna, like, come on, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
This Sophie, which
This
is being
bitch tripping.
invented, which is
Like,
no
you
face
talking to
off.
me.
Nobody knows who she is.
The
And
BBC did not invent.
of course not. And because you never invent anything. And she's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she saying?
Talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal. This person, if they exist, has not filed criminal charges against me. I welcome anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past, to file criminal charges against me. I will fight them. I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence, not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims, and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing human trafficking.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We will see what women go. We will see what women go to court.
I really want to see.
We'll see which women go.
Can I finish, please?
We'll see which women go to court.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human
Sophie
trafficking.
hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say.
Oh, where's these women?
Coercion,
bro, it's like, you know when they are full of shit. You know when they full of shit. You know when they have an agenda and it's a goddamn conspiracy going on. Who is these people? Where are they? Where are they? They always keep them anonymous. You never hear about them. No, for her protection. Like, stop. The bitch don't exist.
And I'm quoting back to you.
It's a unicorn. Nobody's never seen one.
They're not my words. They're words you found. They're words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist. So let's move on to the next subject.
Your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you.
This bitch here.
Get girls to fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once again,
if you get a woman to fall in love with you, and because she's in love with you, she's doing something for you. Even if she don't want to do it, but she doing it because she love you. Plenty of people is in relationship doing shit for their significant other that they don't want to do on a daily basis. Everybody does it every day. Especially when you got a girl, you do a bunch of shit you don't want to fucking do just because she want to do the shit. Every man know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, come on. Like, would you do it because you love her? Is that illegal? Like, what the fuck? What are we talking about?
That's emotional manipulation. That's abuse.
What you found are clips
that's
from
abuse.
Some text from
these motherfuckers call anything abuse.
Tell me that's the reason I should be.
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me. I'm guessing what you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's basically saying, "Nigga, you guilty," without saying you guilty.
And I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer. I look forward to the end of this trial. I look forward to clearing my name. I look forward to the BBC and the legacy media having to say not guilty and having to tell the truth. As I said before.
And that's the thing. If it comes out that none of this is true and he's found innocent, you think these people are going to publicly apologize? Of course not.
The only other person who's been found, despite absolute rigorous, destructive levels.
And let's be real, you could only imagine, like he's saying, you could only imagine how many people they contacted just to put his ass away. They just want anything to put him away.
Of investigation.
I haven't seen untangible.
Prodding into my life is this imaginary Sophie by the BBC who doesn't exist. And if you were to find any single other man on earth and try and analyze his life forensically to the level they've done mine, you would find genuine damage to people. I don't hurt people.
That's true.
Thousands of women have come out in my defense. Thousands of women have come out in my defense, and you've not mentioned that. Thousands of women come out in my defense.
They don't talk about the women that said this is not true, this is all bullshit. This is how you know it's not true and it's all bullshit. Because you don't talk about the bitches that if it gotta be an even playing field here. If you want to talk about the women that said yeah he did it, show all the women that said I didn't do it. Because I don't know who these imaginary bitches are that said I did. But we could see thousands of women saying he's not like that. So, come on.
The problem is when women accuse you
I smell bullshit.
of serious crimes
Okay.
and emotional
But
manipulation.
let's agree that
That's
thousands
the
of women.
problem.
Let's agree that
It's not
thousands.
the problem that some people say you have.
Thousands of women come out in my defense, and as we stand right now, we have an open criminal investigation. The people who are involved in the criminal investigation are saying that we're not victims of anything. Andrew's fine, he's never hurt us. You're saying, no, I have the opposite to that. I have the counter to that. I have someone called Sophie with no face, a fake name, who we've invented, and she's not accusing you of anything criminal. So I don't see the whole point
You
you're trying to
say
make
you
here.
manipulate women, they say you manipulate women. Why wouldn't people think you do?
I'm not here. Do you think I'm manipulating you?
I'm asking you about the testimony you've given on your website and the testimony
No,
women have given
you've
about
printed
you.
something off that you found on Reddit, and you're going to sit here and say that that makes me a bad person. I'm saying that you should know better as a journalist and do some proper journalism. Let's investigate the fact that
I
thousands.
think you should answer my questions
I am.
properly.
I already have, and we should move on. She's just trying to start arguing.
It's
Yeah.
not only about the
She's
criminal
trying to
allegations,
start a
it's
goddamn
a much
argument,
bigger
bitch.
issue. You've got
What is your
children's
problem?
organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive. In fact, if you were to read the comment section of nearly any video I post, especially by the legacy media, 95% of the population, most people know that the things I say are positive. Legacy media as a whole has lost all its credibility in the last 3 to 4 years. Nobody believes it. And it's a shame, it's a massive shame that the BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person.
I'm putting my own words to you.
I'm anti-drugs. I've never pushed drugs or any. I'm anti-drugs. I'm anti-violence.
That is
The
true.
UK is facing a knife crime epidemic, and they're
Well,
going to
you
sit here and
have
say
said.
they're going to sit here and say that I'm the most dangerous man in the UK.
You
Not
have
only-
said you're the most dangerous man in the world.
I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
You've also said that a woman's
He
intimate
like-
parts belong to her male partner. I'm glad.
I'm not gonna comment on that, but yeah, she's like, oh my god, this lady's reaching.
I find it funny that you're sitting here saying that I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world, and you believe that's. When did I say that?
I'm asking if you believe it.
No, you said you're the most dangerous man in the world. Is that some kind of proof that I'm dangerous? Am I Dr. Evil now? I'm telling you that it's very upsetting that you're going to sit here and that certain
Well,
organizations
Dr.
in the
Evil,
world are going to try and pretend that I'm
What
the
are we
biggest force of
talking
evil on
about?
earth when I'm
What's
genuinely a
evil
force for
versus
good.
what you have said.
I'm genuinely a force
Not
for
what
good.
I've said.
And the reason they're doing this is because of the massive influence I have over the youth, and they don't like that I'm telling the youth to think outside of the matrix and ignore things like the BBC, which come here with loaded questions and false narratives and try and paint innocent people as guilty.
Yeah,
You
he's
said
gonna
women's
destroy her.
intimate
She's not
parts
ready.
belong to their male partner.
I said that if a woman marries a man, she takes his last name, and traditionally the man gives her away. I've been pushing
You did say
traditional
that on
religious
Ross
beliefs,
Pearson.
because I'm a religious man, and traditional beliefs in regards to marriage, which everybody accepted 10 to 15 years ago.
So why-
that's not
why
that's
do you
not
say-
that's not a crazy conspiracy theory.
And that's the thing, like stuff that was like normal and everybody kind of knew as normal 20, 30 years ago, it's like, what the fuck? Like, there's only 2 genders. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought everybody knew that. What the fuck world are we in? What the fuck happened in the past 10 years? If people lost their fucking mind, like I swear, people have just regressed in intellect and just have become like, people are just getting dumb. But this has to be the dumbest generation by far. It's like the things that we argue about, we be talking about. It's like, what the fuck? Why is this even a topic? Men give birth. Like, no, they can't. Like, no, they can't. That's a woman that's quote unquote transitioning to a man, and she's pregnant now. He's not pregnant. She's pregnant. A man doesn't have ovaries. He doesn't get his period. People literally be arguing now on national TV. A man can get his period. Like, how? How is a man gonna get his period? These people are insane. Like common sense
If you're gonna
shit.
sit here and say
We
that
having
believe
big
in a
discussions
woman being a
about
man
national
not being
TV.
married makes me the most
Like the rest of the
dangerous man.
world is probably like, these people are insane. Like, these people
Then you're
are
just
fucking
going to lose
insane.
even more credibility than the BBC's already lost in the last 4 to 5 years. If that's your point, if that's your narrative you want to
also
push,
say that
good
men
luck.
should be able to sleep with a lot of women outside marriage. That doesn't sound very religious or very conservative.
That's not what I said they should be able to. I said a lot of high-value men, a lot of rich men do it. And then we discussed at length on podcasts why rich men do it. And we also discussed why women decide to be unfaithful. It's not a gendered argument. We discussed unfaithfulness as a whole. What are the reasons and motivations for men, and what are the reasons and motivations for women? Because you have no time to actually, watch my content, because you have no time to actually watch my content at length and understand what I'm saying, you just come here with a small snippet which has been provided to you on a piece of paper.
3 times doesn't make it true.
No, completely. You don't have a clue what I say or what I talk about. You never watch my content. You have small pieces of paper, small clips on a piece of paper, and you're trying to pretend I've said evil things. And then you're going to say I'm the most dangerous man in the world, which is truly laughable.
You said that, not me.
Okay. Do you believe I'm the most dangerous man in the world, Lucy?
I'm not answering your questions.
Well then we need to change the dynamic of this interview because, and I'll make this clear, I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor, giving you the first interview I'm giving to the public. You don't come here with a position of authority. You're not the police. I don't respect you.
She's very disrespectful too.
You do not come here with a position of authority over me. We are equals. We are people. We're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal. And if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo and that you don't have to answer my questions is disingenuous because I don't owe you anything.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Like I'm the authority here. Listen to what I say. Like, oh no, bitch, that's not how it goes. Fuck.
And you answer
But I don't owe, no,
however you want.
this is a conversation, and I don't owe you.
Yeah, from the conversation, yeah,
So let's
like,
make
what
that
the
clear.
fuck?
That doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to
You
answer
just
your
said-
questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
Correct.
And I'm doing you a favor, but you come here with loaded questions, you're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you
And
about
that's
things
fine.
you've said that people are concerned
Like,
about.
he should have
And that's
never went
fine,
with
but
that.
you're not going to sit here and say you don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
This is also not supposed to be a third degree, it's supposed to be a conversation.
Well,
Absolutely.
it would help if you answered the question.
I've answered every question so far.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
You have said that a woman's intimate
What are
parts
you talking
belong
about?
to her male partner, and if she goes on OnlyFans, he is entitled to a cut of her income.
I think I remember seeing that clip of him saying that. I swear, I think I remember seeing that. That's funny.
It's actually very confusing to me why you're going to sit here, take long format podcasts I've done, which are 3 or 4 hours long, in context where I've sat with OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15
and
OnlyFans girls.
he was talking
where we've
shit.
been
Yeah, he was joking
back and
around.
forth.
Fresh
Ignore
and fit, he
every
was
comment
joking when he
and
said that.
satirical comment and sarcastic comment that the females have made, and then come along and say, you said this, and that, you're the most evil man in the world. I don't know if you understand what sarcasm
Yeah,
is.
she was saying
I don't know if you
something
understand what
like that. He
sarcasm
was
is. I don't
like,
know if you understand what context
wait
is.
for
I don't
me
know if
to
you
cut
understand
that money. Leave my
what
feet.
historical
Man, I gotta put my
So
son
you're saying it's
up.
sarcastic?
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show. And for you to sit here and say that that is my true core beliefs and that makes me a
Is
bad
it?
person is disingenuous.
Is it?
Of course not.
Was it sarcasm?
Absolutely. You should watch the show.
You were being sarcastic
You should
when you
care.
said. Let me
You
just
should-
clarify.
you should
okay?
watch the show.
Let me clarify for the audience. You were being sarcastic when you said a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner.
No.
You didn't believe that.
No, it's not that. It's that you haven't watched the show at length, and you should have, because the woman was saying, my man's car belongs to me because he's my man. And she was on OnlyFans. And then 20 minutes later, when she said she was on OnlyFans, I said, well, you're selling your body, that belongs to him because he's your man. And she laughed, she laughed and she said, ha ha ha, yeah, that's probably true. If you watch the show, it will make sense. For you to come here with doing no research at all, and then say, I don't understand what I'm talking about, but I've got this piece of paper with a few things printed off, that's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show, do some research.
Do you believe it?
She already answered
I've
that.
already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I have.
It's like that.
This lady, she is a horrible, horrible, horrible reporter. Horrible interviewer, horrible
Can we
everything.
move on? I've answered the question.
Do you believe that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner?
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
She just answered that.
We've done that 3 times.
And does this woman believe that her man's car belongs to her? It's not a gendered argument. I really think that it's genuinely sad that
You know what I just realized? Like, nobody talk about Tristan. Why, Tristan, like, why the fuck I got locked up? He's the big star. He's the one getting all the attention. You hear the white talk about Tristan Tate. Tristan in the back just chilling, like, I got nothing to do with this.
when the BBC has a chance to finally interview me, and
Like,
get
he
involved
isn't
with
a
this,
part of the whole
that they
thing.
don't come here with any kind of
But
genuine
Andrew's really
openness
the
to try
face.
and understand my influence over the world or the things I push or what I'm trying to teach the world, or why I'm a good influence on the world, because I am a massively good influence. Instead, they come here with pieces of paper, with printed out excerpts from 5-year-old podcasts, taken out of context, to attempt the same.
Which he did, because you can't do that. Like, everything is in context. You have to watch the whole show to think why he would just randomly say something like that. Like, he's not
Matrix
crazy.
attack on me, which has been attempted endlessly. Every single person in Legacy Media has already tried this, and it doesn't work. I really encourage you. I encourage you to read the comment section on YouTube when this goes on YouTube, and you will see that nobody believes a word you're saying.
The
This is
reason I'm
garbage.
asking you about these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Every time I hear the word misogyny, my stomach hurt. I swear I get sick. I get a little bit sicker. Every time I hear the word, it's like, shut the fuck up. Regurgitating that bullshit. Stop being a man, because that's toxic masculinity. Be a bitch. Act like a woman. And you women, act like men. That's the way to go. Like, what the fuck world are we in? Is it opposite day?
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like
Absolute
this.
garbage.
National organizations
Garbage.
are saying that are blaming.
Who is this? Who is she? She needs to be fired. She's horrible at her job. I could do a better job than this. She sucks. I have these 10 questions. I'm going to keep reiterating them. I don't care how stupid I look. I don't care if you even answer them like, bitch. Move on to other questions.
For increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being
Oh my
harassed
god,
If
because
that
of
was
him?
by
true,
pupils.
if that-
because
Oh
of
my
human
God.
rights.
Well, that's absolutely.
Oh my god.
Never,
Oh my
ever
god.
encourage a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work.
Like, he doesn't even
discipline,
talk about stuff
I
like
preach
that. Like, what
anti-drug.
is she
I
talking
preach
about?
religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against. I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen,
Lord,
to train,
what's she
to work
talking
hard, to be exactly like me, with no criminal record, never even yet charged in this 14-month Matrix investigation. And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental
like,
health
oh,
going through
since
the
you
roof,
came
and they're gonna
along,
all
people
blame
get
me
stabbed at a
because I
higher
did
rate. Like,
1
bitch,
year
get the
ago.
fuck
It's
outta here.
disingenuous. It's
You can't even
disingenuous.
use
And
that.
also,
Yeah, come on, come
The
on.
Bugatti.
Come on, like, dudes is just running around stabbing people, beating people up, and screaming Andrew Tate. Like, come on. So it's like, come on, get the fuck out of here.
In a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
Like, you
How
don't
does
see
having a
society
daddy
that we living in right now.
Mhm.
You don't see the society we living in right now.
You teach that a woman, if a woman comes home and accuses you of
you
cheating,
biting me?
you should hit her with a machete, shove her up.
Is that what I teach?
That's what you say.
Hit her with a
No,
machete.
You actually watched the clip. It will be about the woman attacking me with a machete. As usual, you've not watched the video, taken it out of context, flipped it, and attempted to attack me with a small excerpt. Let me tell you something, Lucy. I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm sure you're a fantastic person. But if I were to take everything you've ever said online and just take small excerpts
Come
out of
on.
context, I could make you look like
You-
a misogynist. I guarantee
you
it.
make her
In
look like a
fact,
psychopath.
I might actually do that. And then you're going to sit here and say, oh shit, I'm
He should do that, because anybody, if you take, especially if they have a bunch of interviews and talking publicly all over the internet, you could take a bunch of clips from them, put it out of context, put it together, and make them look like they're a fucking psychopath. You can make them look like they're saying anything.
I'm a misogynist because
That
my
is a
concepts
real
have been
thing.
taken out of context. If you refuse to watch anything at length and understand it,
The
then
National
that's what's going to
Police,
happen.
the National Police Chiefs Lead for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, Rape Crisis, Safer Schools, they are all naming you as being behind an epidemic of misogyny, even amongst
Like,
primary.
the bitch said the epidemic of misogyny, they blame it you. I literally can't breathe. Like, lady, what in God's great earth are you talking about? Like, he's the misogyny king. Like, without him, misogyny didn't exist.
The idea that I made primary school children misogynistic own a nice car. Is that your
It's
argument?
the misogyny that comes along with it.
Oh, owning a nice car is misogynist.
No, it's the
Got it.
misogyny that
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
along
Drive
with it.
How does
Camrys. Camrys is not misogynistic. If you have a Lambo, you're clearly misogynistic and you hate women. It's like, bitch, what are you talking about? She's a horrible at her job.
Misogyny come along with owning a nice car.
Because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're
success.
answering my questions now. We finally got the
You
dynamic
have an
right.
image of financial
She's answering my questions
success.
as she should.
Excuse me. You have an image of financial success, but it comes along with attitudes towards women that are really problematic.
My attitudes towards women is that women should be protected and provided for, and I've said that at length. In fact, I've said that over 50 times online, you never mention it. I say that my girlfriend doesn't have to work unless she wants to, I take care of her, I die to protect the
Says it
woman.
all the
I've talked
time.
about how
He
I've
really
stood
says
up
it
and
all the
faced a knife to protect a woman.
And in return, you want authority over her in the way you have over a child or a dog.
Absolutely not. I've said that women should be protected and provided for. And
In return, you want authority over her, because if you have responsibility for someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
if you want to go down this argument, we'll go down this nuanced argument. I said that if I have responsibility for her safety, I should have a degree of authority over her safety. Meaning,
Which is true. Which is a fact, 100% true. You could twist it and spin it however you want to spin it, bitch. If I have responsibilities, and I have, bitch, I got, like, come
meaning,
on,
and let me
stop
explain
playing.
my point. If I'm the one who has to fight and die to protect her, I'm the one who decides how we walk home. I'm the one who decides
Yeah,
the
what
route
the
we
fuck?
take. Because it's
I
unfair
can't
for her to say,
be
I want to walk through
fucking-
the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, but you have to face the knives. That's what I've said.
Like,
and then you're going to sit here and
the
pretend I'm
fuck?
trying to treat women like dogs, which is garbage.
It's a fact. I have
Every
to have
single
some type
man,
of authority.
every
You
single
can't
man
do whatever you
in the
want and I
world
gotta
who loves
risk
his
my
woman
life to protect you,
understands
bitch,
that
you
he
know what
has
I'm
to
saying?
protect her. And every single woman in the
Woman
world
is
likes
not
the
a child.
idea of a man who would protect her. If you were to say to most women home right now, do you want your husband to protect you in a violent attack? They'd say, yeah, of course. Nothing I've said is
If you said to
misogynistic.
most women, would you want to lose authority in the relationship, to not be treated as a free and legal equal to your
I didn't say that. I said I need to have authority over the
When
route we
you-
walk home.
When you compare women
He
and
didn't
the
say- yeah,
authority
he
over
actually
women
did
that
say
you
that.
believe you should have to having authority over a child or a dog, it's not the same, because a woman is a free legal adult.
Correct.
Yes, and she's free to
Free
leave.
legal
And
adult,
she's
I-
free to go about
I
her
go
business
home. We're
and
walking
get
home late
walk
at
down
night.
that alley by her
Let's
damn
walk down
self.
that area. It's a bad area. I have to protect her.
And she says she want to
I
go.
want
Bitch,
to
go.
protect her. And
The
she said,
fuck?
no, I
Exactly.
don't
You can
have
see
to
how
walk
much
this
authority
way.
I don't have over you, bitch, go.
I must.
Then what?
Then I would say you're welcome to. You could do it. You're a free and legal equal. But I'm not going to walk with you and protect you. I think that I should be able to decide.
Yeah, walk by yourself.
Because I have an obligation. And my obligation as a man.
I'm
is to
gotta
protect
defend
the
your
females.
life, but you gonna tell me
Everything
we
I'm
going
talking
wherever I
about
wanna
is
go. Like,
traditional
no,
gender
shorty,
roles,
that's not how it
10
works.
years ago, less than 10 years ago, would not be considered
Less than 10 years
outlandish,
ago.
would not be considered crazy, would not be
What world
considered
are we in?
dangerous or misogynistic. The world has changed. And a lot of people haven't changed with the world. Please understand there's a lot of women at home watching this right now who like the idea of their man sticking up for them, protecting them, and providing for them. And just because the world has gone crazy and the legacy media has gone crazy, most people at home are still relatively sane. And these are the people who are going to write in the comments that Andrew isn't saying
There's
anything
a
that's
difference
outlandish.
between
What's wrong with this? Sorry, Matthew, change the camera. These are the two values that can tell you.
She's
This
horrible.
is
Who
the
is this
whole world
lady?
believes these things.
Or literally, just 10 years ago, the shit he's saying is not like, oh my god.
It's fine.
Cheeky Tristan in the back, like, well, I told you this was a hit piece. He said that about the Vice dude. He was like, this is a hit piece, and it was.
I'm having a nice conversation with you, so I'm enjoying it. So it's no problem. It's been fun so far. It's fine. We good?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Do you want to clap again?
Yes, no. We didn't stop, no?
I can do the clap. Now we good?
Thank you.
If a man broke into your house, wouldn't you want your husband to protect you?
There's a difference between conservative values and emotional control, coercive control.
We're
lack
talking
of
about protection
consent.
now, and I'm saying if someone broke into your house, would you want your husband to protect you?
It's not about conservative values or protection, it's what you're
See?
demanding in return for that.
See what
I'll
she
give you
does?
this. I don't know who your husband is. I don't know if he would stand up and protect you or die for you, but I'll give you this. If someone broke into this house right now and was a homicidal maniac, I would expect me and the other men in this room to stand up and face him while you and the other women in this room could protect yourselves. I would actually believe that men should go and engage you.
And
I
that's-
believe that. And even
that's
though I
how
don't
it's
know
supposed to
you,
work.
and you've come into my house with a hostile agenda,
Even if
I'm here to try and
even if I
make
don't
you
know
better.
you,
I would
if
still-
somebody was coming
I would
out.
still stand up. I would still stand up to protect you. I would still stand up to protect you because I believe that's my role as a man.
I am asking you
Mm-hmm.
about things that you have said that have caused major national organisations, including the police,
She
to
won't.
worry about you by name.
The-
That's what I'm asking you
It's
about.
not what I say.
It's not about whether you protect your partner or not. It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK.
And you know what's funny? A lot of these women, they like to come across, you misogynist. Misogynist basically means you have contempt and you hate women, which is not true. realistically, they hate men. That's why they come push all that shit on you. You said this, but you said that, and they already come with an agenda with hatred in their heart. Most women nowadays hate men, so that's why motherfuckers just can't get along.
Okay, and I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
That's not true.
making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so firstly, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy. And I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money. Because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs. Or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you can make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers.
Yeah, like
who you
what's
then
worse?
direct
These
to your
niggas literally.
website
I could
where
make-
they pay
I could make
to
jokes.
learn how to be
Sure.
like
I
you.
mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a
Are
joke
you
online.
saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you
And the
money.
reason
I'm sorry, we have agreed to do an interview where you are going to ask questions that are going to give us the opportunity to clarify some things. These are very loaded questions,
sorry.
and so far, I'm sorry.
Literally, the bitch is not even that.
So, these are very loaded questions, and this is not what we discussed, and this is not the conversation that we
We
agreed
were
to.
very
You're
clear that the
sitting
questions
there,
are
you're sitting there and just accusing, we're not here to
Come on, even the lady in the back is like, damn, bitch, you ODing. We trying to give you a chance, but you ODing. Like, settle down.
Two allegations. This has all been discussed. Answers have been provided. So if we could please move on from this side of the interview, I would appreciate it.
I would like to hear what Andrew's got to say about the fact that when you make controversial statements, it attracts people to follow you, and then you direct them to your website where they pay you a monthly fee to learn how to be like you. And so the more controversial statements you make, the more money you get.
The fact that that's the path you've outlined to one, my online university, and two, my presence on the internet. The fact that you believe that's the path just shows you've done absolutely zero research. Genuinely zero research.
Okay, so how many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media?
Genuinely zero research.
How
And
many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media where you direct them to the website?
And Lucy, I encourage you to go out there, do some genuine research, watch my
Did you
videos.
answer my
Of
question?
course, watch my videos at length, and
Just say it like, what kind of question is that? What would make you think he would know? Oh yeah, exactly. 50,000 people from social media come from social media and follow me on my website. Like, how the fuck would he know that? Like, what do you
truly
talking about?
understand what I'm doing.
How many
Even
of the
questions
people
don't make
who
sense.
sign up for
Like,
Hustlers
what kind of question is
University
that?
at $49.99 a month come to you because they see your social media comments?
There's an online school called
And
Hustlers University, which I don't own. I influence for, along with many other influencers, and they sign up for your website, which I don't own. And once
You
again,
direct
that's
them
once
to
again,
Hustlers University?
once again, that's nothing to do with me. And you're going to sit here and say that I made a joke.
You were the
I made a
figurehead.
joke online 4 years ago because a woman said that she owned her man's car, and you made a joke, and that means that you, because you have a Bugatti, are the most misogynistic, dangerous man in the world. This is going down a path of absolute insanity. It's not
Of
true.
retardation.
Unless this is
It's
true.
retarded
And I'm
now.
personally
She's
for
horrible.
harmful forms of
Fired as a
positive
bitch.
You are
influence.
renowned
I'm renowned.
for offensive and controversial
That's not why I'm renowned.
comments
I'm
about
actually
your
renowned.
relations.
I'm actually renowned for helping young men, because we talk about there's a men's mental health crisis, and we talk about we pretend to care that men are upset. But as soon as I discuss men's issues, it's
Don't
misogynistic.
do whatever
It
you
doesn't
want
have to
to
be
do.
gender. Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way that helps them internally, that doesn't mean it's anti-female. In fact, I believe it's actually pro-female. I think when a man is true to his influence and true to his essence, and he's good within himself, he's a positive influence in the world, and he's positive for the women around him.
So
Just
why
because
are
I
so
discuss
many
men's
women-
issues, people say, oh, you're anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman, I love women.
Why are so many women saying that when their boyfriends start following you,
They're not.
they experience more?
I remember seeing something like that. Like, that's bullshit. I remember seeing like a clip of that. Oh, my boyfriend, he was such a nice guy, and he seen Andrew Tate, and he started beating me and some crazy shit like that. Like, this bitch is a liar. So your boyfriend, all of a sudden, never hit you before, just one day seen Andrew Tate and said, I'm gonna punch this bitch in the throat. Like, come on, it's not believable. It's bullshit.
more control.
So many.
They experience.
How
Now
many?
you can just
more
pay anybody
abuse.
say that,
How
yeah,
many?
my boyfriend was
Enough.
he seen Andrew Tate and he just started
Enough.
becoming
Enough.
so
Well, that's the first
misogynistic.
time I've
It's
heard
like,
it.
oh
So,
my
in fact,
One is too many.
oh, of course, yeah. So, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising
Doesn't it worry you?
praising the fact that their sons are listening to me,
Does it not
praising
worry
the
you?
fact that their
The things
husbands.
I'm
Let
saying,
him
does
talk.
it not worry you?
Let him
would
talk.
worry. It would
You're not
worry.
concerned about
It would.
it.
It would worry him if it
me
was
if I
true.
was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world. You have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is
I'm
not
not
the same man she wants him to
presenting
be, when thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite.
It's like, get the fuck out of here. What is it? What really matters?
I would say
I
that that's.
presented you with case after case after
The
case,
many or the
quote after
few?
quote after quote,
Who
of
gives
people
a,
who are
let's just say that
genuinely
is true that
concerned
one
about the
nigga
impact
heard him
you're
and
having,
he just
you
took his
pass it
shit
on
and
to
said,
people.
I'm gonna start
No,
being
what you
bitches
have
for some
done
reason,
is
whatever.
come here
He
with
doesn't say
an
nothing
agenda.
like that.
You come here with loaded questions.
And then
you come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't.
Thousands of
understand
other
as a
people's like, oh my god,
and
he's
then
taking
you're
a
gonna also
relationship.
sit
Who
and
should
say
I give a
one
fuck about?
woman
That
said
one
her
bitch whose
boyfriend
shit
changed
didn't
when
work
he watched
out?
one of your videos.
Why would I give a fuck about
And
that?
then I don't know what you expect me to say to that. That's
sarcastic and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain
No,
the comments you
no,
make.
for you to sit
Would
down
you
and
like
sit-
to apologise for any of them?
for you to sit
Nope.
down. For you to sit down.
He's like,
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes, or whatever your argument is.
Whatever it
and
is,
that
whatever
I'm somehow
argument
the
is.
worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. It's just disingenuous, and I'm enjoying this interview very much because this shows. This
Yeah,
shows
it's
the
showing
world.
how
It's great.
they
It
mindset of
shows
these
the
women.
world the truth
This
about
is
the
how
legacy
most
media
women
because
think.
They beg me for interviews. They beg me. You have been begging me for months. Please, we need to be relevant. And then you come here with loaded questions, trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good, positive influence for the world. The things I teach men are stoicism, discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening to your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible in your job. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually
None of those
watch my
things
comments
sound bad
about
to
women,
me.
I've
I'll
done
never
long
lie.
podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this, but you don't watch any of it, and then you come here and ask
And
me
you know
that.
the
and
funny
it's-
part? Like, when you see these women, oh, fuck Andrew Tate, da, 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 da. If she had a chance to be with him, you think she would be like, oh, no, I don't like that. No, I would never be with him. You think if this lady here, look at her. If for some reason Andrew like, what's up, and she had an opportunity to be in a relationship with him, you don't think she would do it? Get the fuck out of here. They all full of shit.
Answer questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody, there seems to have been a lot about your charity work
Correct.
on your social
There's
media.
I've always done the charity work, but now I'm promoting
There
online.
seems to be a real shift.
Yeah.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my
Yeah,
legacy.
but now I gotta record it to let motherfuckers know. But it's like, I don't believe charity is charity. I mean, it's kind of like the Mr. Beast thing. You can't be like, I used to be like, I didn't like people who did stuff and then like recorded it and put it on the internet, but I understand why he's doing it, and because he's doing it like that, he could help millions of people. So hey, I ain't got nothing wrong with that. Do you think, why? If you want to record it, if that helps you get more eyes and make other people want to do it, hey.
I think a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my incarceration, my unfair, unjust incarceration, may I add. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing. But this is once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children, men, male children, and female children. In Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and Iraq, I literally spend $25 million a year feeding children. And I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment.
Because some people would look at that.
It's like, come on. This is the world we live in. People, they worried about the wrong things. Shit that really matter, nobody talks about it. You know why? Because it's an agenda. We can't talk about the shit that's really the fucking problem. Let's worry about Andrew Tate. He is the cause of all the grief in the world. Like, bitch, are you for real? I'm the
and
cause
say,
of this.
Okay, so before
Like,
you
this bitch
got
is insane.
money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble. And so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect. And I have proof that I've always done the charity work, so you're wrong, firstly. I
So
believe that
you're
you have a
wrong.
lot of wealth, you should help people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you could not find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending £25 million a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning it. I never even said it And now that I've said it, people are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous.
Just to
The
finish.
person in Sudan who's eating the meal, do you think they believe
that's
it's
why
disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate
Well, you
said
fucking
that.
asshole, you ain't
And to
doing
sit
it
here
for-
and say that I'm a
for-
bad
for-
person
like,
now
no,
because
no.
I'm manipulating
I'm
charity,
actually a very nice
because I'm
person.
using charity.
There you go.
I'm just trying to do good
Bitch,
in the
how many
world.
people
That's
have
all
you
I've ever
helped?
been trying to do.
Zero. You have a hard time
Women
giving a
speak out
motherfucker
against your
$100
disagreement with
$1
what you
$1 on the
say.
freeway.
They describe
Put the
being
window up, I don't want
bombarded
him coming
with
next to me, he's
rape
dirty.
threats, with death threats,
Like, bitch.
trolling by your followers. Would you like to say anything to your followers about
Sure.
how to behave in that situation?
Absolutely, correct. I would love to do that. First things first, I've yet to see a female stand up and argue with me online. I don't ever see hardly any, although only women who message me agree with me. Secondly, I don't think that anybody who disagrees with me, male or female, should be trolled. I don't think they should be insulted or attacked. I think the ideas should be discussed openly and fairly and maturely. It doesn't matter if a man agrees with me or disagrees with me, or a female. I don't think my followers should come along and attack her, and if my followers are doing that, I'm upset by that. But, let's make a very important clarification. That's not my followers. That's the internet. If you were to log into any video game lobby,
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
and someone were to sit there and say something stupid, they would be trolled with similar comments. That's the unfortunate reality of the internet as a whole. That's nothing to do with me. But I encourage all of my followers to engage in open discourse and be fair and honest and talk in a way which is mature. There's no need to troll anybody, male or female.
Okay.
A couple of things. I wonder if it would be worth giving Andrew one more opportunity to consider whether or not he would like to apologise or give an indication of how he feels about the allegations that he has negatively influenced young people in the UK. And secondly, I think we should put on record that this interview is taking place in your house because you're under house arrest. If it were not for that, then we would have chosen another location, I'm sure. We would have negotiated that between us. So I think that's just worth putting on record.
Okay. So, just to put on the record then, you've said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come?
Why you have to go on record saying once he mentioned it multiple times, yeah, in his house. Two, everybody knows on house arrest, but no, we gotta elaborate. The only issues why we at your house was you on house arrest. Like, bitch, anywhere I told y'all to come, y'all would've came. I'm the fucking star. If I said meet me in fucking Iraq in the middle of the desert, bitch, you would've came because you want this interview. Stop. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, I'm on yacht only here because I'm on house arrest. Like, bitch, if I said meet you in my garage, you was gonna come. Like, what the fuck is this bitch talk about?
I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge. Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than old YouTube snippets? Don't you think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct. I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
Actually, the rape allegation is
it's
not
been
one
dropped.
Has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation. Then I guess Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you actually wanted to do some genuine journalism and investigation, we could talk about the fact that an innocent man who has yet to be charged with a crime has had his liberty deprived of him. And I think that would be a far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most dangerous man in the world because I own a car.
And this question about schools being very worried about your influence.
Yes.
Boys in primary school or boys as young as 11 are quoting you at school,
Yeah.
attacking girls, refusing
Oh
to-
my god. It's that boy that attacked that girl because he probably was gonna attack her anyway. He just so happened to watch an Andrew Tate video on TikTok the other day. It's like, come on. That's not the reason why he attacked the girl because he listened to Andrew Tate and all of a sudden he want to beat up bitches. Like, nothing about what Andrew says has anything to do with anything like that.
to respect female teachers.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything about that?
I'd like to say a lot. First things first.
I
as
thought
I've
you was laying down, go to
said,
sleep.
and the only reason I keep repeating it is because I'm sure this interview will be edited. I am a positive force for the world, and I teach children discipline. I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age, and a lot of women listen to me as well. 40% of the people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly, I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one of the most influential people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful with things I say. I'm not going to disagree with that. The idea that I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views.
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views, I would no longer make.
Like what?
Like the OnlyFans joke, the one you mentioned, repeat. When she said, my man's car is my car. And then she said she did OnlyFans. And I said, what do you sell on OnlyFans? She said, my tits. And I said, well, those are your man's tits. As a joke, ha ha ha, everybody laughed. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago and only got 300 views, now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. I would be more careful with certain things I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm
Do you
people.
really believe the most
that doesn't mean what I said was
influential man
bad.
on the face of the
Now
planet?
I
I'm the
just
most
know
Googled person
people
on
are
the planet.
dumb,
Do you
and
believe you're
everything
the
you
most
say, people are gonna
influential
fucking
man
take
on
it to
the face of
heart.
the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
I
Yeah,
think
I
you're
was
dumb.
Google man.
Thanks, Lucy. It was enjoyable. Nice to meet you.
Well, that's the end of the video right there. Like and subscribe. I'll be back to y'all with another one. Let's go.